throughout the league who adopt the bye-bye this season.
It was a bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
It was great spending time with Coach before the game, who's the father of Manu Alves, one of the second half. We started to mention it before, Rebecca. I mean, you know what it was like to go up against a really good Brazilian senior national team.
Yeah, in 1996, our Olympic team beat Brazil in the gold medal game, and 2 years prior to that, Brazil won the World Championships. And you know, you mentioned it. They feel like this is the best core in the last decade, and you see a nice mix in this game today of veterans, and then you have the 3 teenagers on the roster as well.
Here's Mitchell popping and hitting from 3. Kelsey Mitchell with 15.
From 3 in a basketball game. I mean, Indiana is simply on fire.
Here's Clark. Off the turnover, Clark dishes, Boston floats it in. Third assist for Clark. Aaliyah Boston filling up the stat line. Has 9 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Martins meets a wall. Pumps it out. Mora can't hit the 3. Another rebound for Clark. Clark flinging it down the floor. Howard could not hang on, was thrown a little behind her. Indiana didn't turn it over in the second quarter. You know, last year that was an issue for them, with Clark leading the league in turnovers. Victoria has it knocked off of her, out of bounds. What are we talking about?
With the Houston Comets, an incredible player, current players, not only Camila Cardoso, but Damiris Dantas, who isn't playing here today, but will be huge pieces of this Brazilian national team.
In the corner, that 3 won't go, but a foul. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, Ryan, as you mentioned earlier, Damiris Dantas not playing, dropped some weight. Her frame looks incredible, and she is ready to be a big contributor for this Indiana, and is back in great shape, ready to contribute.
All right, Hal, thank you very much. We saw what an impact she made on the second half of the season for Indiana last year. It's a backup big. It's a very deep fever team this season as Bella hits. Here's Clark. Clark from the logo. Little off. Howard there for the follow.
You just saw Natasha Howard push baseline side. As soon as the shot went up, she started moving and tracking that basketball.
Got a deflection there and nearly a double dribble, instead a turnover. Clark with 13 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Gets it back from Mitchell. Clark, extra feed. Boston leaves it short. Slapped out to Mitchell. Back iron on a 3. Another chance here for Indiana. Here's Clark using the Boston screen. Slings it into Howard. Howard draws 2, deflected out of bounds with 3 to shoot. As Sophie Cunningham is. Clark catch. Attack. Floater is good. Worked on that a lot. Saw her working on it extensively with her boyfriend Connor McCaffrey, who's an assistant at Butler. Saw her working on it with her coaching staff pregame as well. She's trying to add that to her game. Here's Clark. Oh, what a look. Mitchell the extra feed, and Boston is fouled. A serious highlight was percolating there on 2 gorgeous dimes.
There's nothing that
Clark will check out. And next Sunday night, we'll have the final 2 episodes. WNBA rookie Kiki Iriafen. It's a terrific series. It is so well done. We saw it last year in season 1 and just cannot recommend it enough. Victoria can't hit the 3. Here's Cunningham. Again, eyes up immediately, even with Clark off the floor. Here's Howard. Swiftly kicking. Cunningham can't hit the three. A rebound taken in by Marcelino. Martins through traffic, cups it up and off. Rebound, Colson able to save it. Midway through the third, here in Iowa. A sold-out crowd. It's sold out in less than a half an hour. Average ticket price, according to Vivid Seats, going for $670. Here's Howard to the corner. Cunningham online, couldn't hit it. Mitchell pursues it. Another chance here for Indiana. Here's Mitchell wiggling and cupping it in.
Different from any of her teammates is her ability to create for herself, use her speed and quickness to get to the rim for finishes.
Brazil has missed its last 10 shots now as Mitchell scoops up the rebound. Here's Colson around the Boston screen. Boston traveled. That'll take us to a timeout. Caitlin Clark delivers. Talk about her impact on attendance when we come back.
I know it's her teammates. I know it's Iowa, but what makes you proud about your daughter right now seeing this?
Well, I think it's just, you know, what we've seen over the last few years, and I think that that's what's special. And I think the fact that you're seeing it here in Iowa City, it's sort of the epicenter, you know, if you will, of women's basketball right now. And
Okay, so you're new W parents. What did you learn in her rookie season that you can help support her and be there for her in this coming season?
Well, I think, you know, there's a lot of room for improvement there. I think particularly in the officiating. I've kind of noticed a little bit.
Players on this team, on this roster, a lot of turnover, but the passing and the ball movement has been exactly what we are expecting. What do you think so far?
That's the same thing. I commented to my wife earlier that it seems like, and I think Steph White's reinforcing this, is that she says you do not hold the ball more than 1 second. I mean, it's quick decision making, and they're moving the ball, and that leads to a lot of points.
Right. Fun type of basketball to watch. Last question for you. Just what is it like for you to be back here? So many beautiful moments and memories and records that your daughter set in this building. What is this like to be back here today for your family?
Well, it's certainly special, and I think the fact that it's almost like we never left. You know, that's the thing about, I think, this university. They just embrace, you know, their athletes. You know, whether it's Caitlin or whether it's, you know, any other athlete. They love it. It's kind of their professional team, and that's what makes it, I think, just a fantastic experience every time you come.
All right, you can always go home again. That's a good feeling. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
The moment on national TV to say, hey, we got to make sure there's not too many whistles so we can have the right fluidity.
And can I just say,
or maybe more whistles to have the right fluidity.
When I use the ladies' room at excited, I think because they got to meet Brent Clark. I was delighted overhearing their conversation.
And Caitlin's entire family has become massive celebrities here in Iowa and beyond. And Brent and Ann have been wonderful to us and our entire crew for years now with their generosity of time. Her deepest three during her W season last year was 32.5 feet. And Clark in her first preseason action, 4 of 6 from 3, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 16 points. So many of those signature down court feeds to Rebecca. She plays an incredibly electrifying style of basketball.
And differently from anyone we have ever seen before her in the women's game, which is the main driving force for the incredible popularity that she has. She is simply so much fun to watch. But I'll tell you this, Ryan, this Indiana Fever team and the way they've been, assuming they can all stay healthy and continue to improve as the year goes on.
Nice tip there. Man. Fourth quarter action in Iowa City. Clark and Mitchell a combined 8 of 12 from 3 in this game. Indiana 14 of 25. That 3 short. Tilts out of tenders in the WNBA this season. Liberty coming off a championship a season ago, adding Natasha Cloud. Vegas, what they did. Minnesota, who was as close as you could possibly be.
Size at the guard position, defensive toughness as well. Their first preseason game, Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray. But I do think that you put Indiana into that conversation, and I think all these teams, but especially Indiana, because so many new pieces, are going to be a much, much better version with each passing day that they get to work with one another.
One other team I want to throw your way, Rebecca. How about Phoenix, all the movement they made in the offseason?
That's a team I'm really curious to watch because they've got as talented a big three as you have in the WNBA with Alyssa Thomas, Kalia Copper. You see Beal take that shot. And Satu Sabali. I mean, that is a terrific, imposing big three. But
with Chicago back at the PMAX Center for
when Chicago made the fewest threes in the WNBA in free agency and through the draft. They've added three-point shooters to Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese. So also intrigued to see what they're going to look like as the season starts.
Queiroz can't hit the three. A little more than 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. That's out of bounds. Well, the WNBA begins its 29th season. May champion Liberty hosts the Aces at 1 Eastern. Then Caitlin Clark and the Fever hosts Angel Reese in the Sky. Coverage begins with WNBA Countdown at 12:30. How?
And she talked about their 4-out, 1-in type of play with Camila Cardoso being that 1-in, having more space to open up the floor. She said she's really working on her face-up game, pulling out and getting a jump shot. She said, I don't think I've posted up once yet this training camp, and she's trying to add her range to her game.
Yeah, we saw the way Chicago played, looked fluid.
40, 85 player. That's what she was her entire career. I think it's going to take Dallas some time, though, to kind of to find their chemistry, to find their groove. Another team with new pieces, a new head coach, and Chris Koklanis. But I think Paige is nice shot by Hall, is alongside Enrique Agumbawale.
From Bree Hall, as Indiana has put up 100 with 6:40 to go in this fourth quarter. Colson comes up with a steal. Colson bounces. Hall leaning, can't bank it in. Long rebound flag down by Fajera. Fajera can't finish, out of bounds to Indiana.
Oh, just good hands, though, by Sydney Colson. First we see her get the pick up top, but that time, coming in, she was just able to hit the ball out.
You know, we're deep into this game.
How did you like your bunk bed last night?
Yeah, you did have a bunk bed, didn't you?
You had a bunk bed? Holly Rowe had a bunk bed?
No, I didn't have one.
Oh, you didn't have one?
No, that wasn't at my Iowa City hotel room.
Oh, Holly did.
Brown.
I think.
Can't finish. All right, you know.
This morning, Holly also had a bunk bed, and then we just had a nice little pregame party.
Yeah, did what we did.
I didn't realize you didn't get one.
No bunk bed for me. I will say, too, and it's funny because Caitlin was talking about this the other day in anticipation of this game, wanting to show off Iowa City for her teammates. It really is an
Before I crawled into my bunk bed, there were people walking around for prom.
Yeah.
There was a pub crawl going on. I think that was college students. There was a lot going on last night in Iowa City.
Knocked on your door at 2 a.m. A reminder, Indiana will play their season opener, regular season opener, 3 Eastern on ABC Saturday, May 17th, against Chicago. Nice rivalry that we saw last year as Caitlin Clark goes through some things with her teammates. Of Brazilian descent who might be eligible for their team as they look to expand their pool of talent. So it was one of the things they'd even brought up to us, saying, hey, I know you're on national TV. Let anybody know who has a Brazilian mother or father. They're really, right now, into scouting wherever they can, all corners of the globe, to try and add to that talent.
And not
FIBA rating. A toss out of bounds. Indiana basketball. Damaris Duntas, one of their stars, but figures to be a significant part in the back end of the Fever's rotation this year. Aileen comes up with a rebound. Back to Hall. 4:20 to go in the fourth. Hall elevates and drops it in.
We've seen some of the variety of her skill set. We saw her as at the guard position that time, backing down the defender, turnaround jumper.
Part of an incredibly successful class at South Carolina. Won a couple of national champions. 4 straight Final Fours for Hall. Ejim got a hand on it. No, it's been fun just in general, Rebecca, to see some of the W preseason games here back at collegiate atmospheres. We talked about the game back at LSU the other night. Also saw one in Notre Dame here today in Iowa. Just love the ingenuity and bringing these fans who love women's basketball across the board. 17 points from you. Just how about the way the ball has moved today for you and your entire team? What has it felt like, the rhythm of the offense?
It's the new basketball for the Indiana Fever, man. Just get it up and down, be able to play consistently with a high rhythm.
You've been here longer than any of the members on your team in terms of playing for the Indiana Fever. So many new pieces, more experienced pieces. What has been the biggest difference of having that experience this year?
I think the best part of Rebecca is that I feel winning in the culture in the room. Like, I don't know, I can't describe it, but when you ever walk in rooms and you hear Stephanie talk, you hear with that.
What did you think about Caitlin's 36-footer and the crowd reaction there, Kelsey?
I felt like I was from Iowa, man. I had never seen that in my life, and so now I get to see it in person. I kind of feel like a fan. I'm just in admiration of what she's been able to do for her state and this city, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, how about just the atmosphere here in general, Kelsey? Obviously, this is a very unconventional preseason game. What has it been like for you and your teammates?
I think we've all talked about a little bit of everything, from the spectacle to the kids to, you know, everybody in here. We've never seen anything like this. So for us, we look at it from a friend standpoint, but also a teammate, to say to Caitlin, she's been able to do things and create this atmosphere. So we're excited, man. It's an unbelievable atmosphere.
We'll let you get back to your teammates in a moment, but I got to ask you, you were coming off a career year. You're an all-star the last 2 years. Kelsey Mitchell joining us live from the bench with 1:35 to go in the fourth. Leading scorer today with 17. Wow. Jaylen Brown has had some big moments in this second half for Indiana. And now coming up with a steal. Here's Brown on the breakaway. Couldn't lay it in, but Aileen can.
Free agency, their most important move was securing Kelsey Mitchell and bringing her back in a way where she can thrive again. You mentioned a year ago, career high in scoring, career high in field goal percentage, and career high in people watching her and getting to appreciate what a great talent she is.
Yes. She used the quote with us at one point. She said, Caitlin is a spotlight for you, your abilities, what you do. When you fail, when you succeed. For Kelsey last season, it was a lot of success as Indiana comes up with a stop here after the Aileen. Smile on your face.
Well, it's a 64-point game, and fans aren't leaving. If you see empty seats at all, it's because those fans have all gone over by the tunnel.
Yes. Trying
to get a high five or an interaction of some kind with Peyton Clark when she leaves the floor.
Yeah. Ejim in at the three. Scooped up by Aileen. And now Sydney Colson is going to let the clock wind. A memorable afternoon at Carver Hawkeye for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever.